Check. Hello? The sound alright? These headphones have been acting weird on the headphone side. Right. So today I wanted to either, contracts here, either build a station, an orbital station, around Kerbin, or explore Minmus, which is the second moon around Kerbin. So, there's the planet Kerbin, then there's the moon, and then there's Minmus, which is just a second moon further out. Off stream, I have positioned some satellites. Here, if I turn on the communications net, you guys can see all of the different satellites I have in place. Mostly I've just been doing that for money. No, don't terminate it. Get a contract. There's a lot of them. Position a satellite around Kerbin, Moon. I have also done a couple of rescue missions, which are kind of fun. I was thinking maybe we would do one of these satellite missions. This right here. While we wait for the stream to kind of get going, because I wanted to let stream vote on whether we're going to position an orbital station or explore Minmus. I built vessels for each task, for either task, I should say. I built a Minmus lander, which should be sufficient to get us there and get us home. And I built a very simple space station, which I actually might want to add more to, now that I think about it. Because I have more science than I had when I built that, and I can buy the specialized construction, which comes with a lot of extra parts. Not sure if I necessarily want anything else right now. What's this come with? Another decoupler. The relay antenna would be kind of cool, actually. I think it has like a really long range. Start putting that on all of the satellites instead of just the little ones we got. So, what I do want to add to this, or change about it, the plan was to have it go up with a pilot, and then the pilot to detach and come home. But this is, if I remember right, a junior docking module, which isn't useful for very long. Coupling, of course. Yeah, so I had the Junior on there, which I don't think Kerbals can actually pass through. It's used for docking, like, satellites and stuff. And I will actually put a couple more docking ports. Not that. It's funny the way it wants to put that, like, inside. Oops. Oh, is it because... What is this? behaving weird because of whatever it is. I'll just cover one of these windows. Let's add more windows. Let's cover the center window. Not bad. Look out the window and see the ship coming in. Oh, and I didn't get the relay antenna, did I? I just talked about getting it. I'm going to go back and get the relay antenna. We'll stick one on here. Save and continue. That way this station can also act as a relay. I'm getting a lot more used to using the controller to play this. It's interesting that this doesn't attach on any kind of arm. Should be okay. One on each side. Should be 3, so it has more regular kind of range, coverage. Hopefully those aren't aerodynamically influenced. I know there's a lot of parts in this game that don't. It just doesn't care about aerodynamics. That get interfered with. Right. That should be good. We added a little bit of weight to the craft, but I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll mess with it. What I kind of feel like I have to do though is put a little tiny bit of fuel. So if I take, I just need something small. For ants, it's on backwards. Right on the decoupler, okay, pointing the other way. Give it. This honestly is probably too big. I don't even need that much fuel. I just need enough fuel to push something out of orbit. I guess we'll do that external tank. So, oops. This on a radial decoupler. Just one, please. It's huge. It's right on the door. No getting out till you get home. Because I want to be able to ditch this as we come into the atmosphere. Otherwise, it's probably going to blow up. Stage. In fact, we need another one. Where did I put that decoupler? Right here. That was odd. Randomly does that. Flight. And the parachute. Okay. So take off and light the engines. Stage off those. Stage off that. Oh, this is that engine. We'll do that. Actually, I'm gonna make it inside the stage, so I can get a little distance from the stage before I actually light off. And this will be piloted. One of our pilots. Okay, empty. All the seats. Seat. 7. And then this is the pod that's actually leading. So which pilot gets to do it? All of our pilots have at least 1 star, and I don't think this will get them any more experience, to be honest. I like the idea of Valentina doing it. I have to select this seat because that's the one. Okay. And save that. I may have to adjust the pilot thing again later. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I think it'll do. Sending me videos from the other room. So, anybody have a say? Anybody want to vote? This or a space station? Or are we just going to wait a little bit and I'll position a satellite real quick? Now that we have it, I will relay. I always forget I can't use the D-pad. Relay. Oh. Oh, those are on double. I guess I'll just do double. So now these are going to be relay satellites too. Which actually makes it worth putting up more. I've already put up a few satellites, but the relay satellite will actually be most handy around like the which could potentially block signals. We have plenty of like radial or polar satellites around Kerbal. I also have parachutes on all the stages and stuff for this one, so we kind of save a little money if we can recover them. Save that now and launch. Go ahead and do this. If I remember right, this is also a polar, satellite. No. Yellow circle there is our goal. And actually, we're not in a terrible position to do it. We need to go north, which is up. Let's go. I've done this specific flight times to do the whole thing. I've done a couple of tutorial satellite launches. I've done 2 satellites. Stable this side to side. When we come out of this spin, we're going to try and rotate. Be push this back in here. Let's try for a second. Kill it there. Our apoapsis is plenty high. Satellites are flying. Once we reach space, which is at 70,000 meters, we will deploy our solar panels and stuff so that we make sure we don't lose power while we wait for things to get in the right position. Oop. Without the engine on, we don't have a lot of control. We're going to wait till we get to about there. Just turn the engine on just a little bit so we can move. That's the retrograde node. We need to get to the retrograde node. Where do we go here? There it is. Rifle blast. On my Moonlander, if I do that gear thing, everything expands. Landing gear, lights. I need to set that up on the satellite thing. Still want to return course. Should have plenty of fuel to fix our really janky orbit. Excuse me. So. A lot of fine tuning. Excuse me. To match up with the yellow. Above 70, so we'll kill it there. Alright. I cannot remember if it's more efficient to fix our what's called to normalize our orbit with that one now or later. I honestly feel like it's probably more efficient later. Generally speaking, when you're far out, little changes make more sense. Alright, get over to our periapsis. And then push out. The periapsis of that orbit is 3.1 million, and 3.6 is the apo. So somewhere in there is our range for this bird. Sitting at the retrograde node again. Cursor come up. No, I don't want it. So just turn our engine on a little bit so we can move. And then once we get prograde, we're going to burn full. Stretching out just a little bit so the sun's showing us the sun. Back up a little. Between 3.1 and 3.6 million. wide orbit. It's off by a lot right now, but we'll change that. Faster. 2.1. 2.11. We'll call 3.4 good because we're going to be messing with it and probably change it quite a bit. Maneuver here. Yeah, that'll be fine. We're probably not going to have a 7-minute long burn. Alright, now we are going to pull our periapsis out. Again, we're sitting right at the retrograde marker. Put on over prograde. Blast. This will actually probably move quite a bit faster since we're see him pushing that back. Perhaps it's seriously. Too far. Yes, it's okay as long as we can get him to around 6 or There's 3.6 on that one, so I'm going to stop because we're actually really far from our apoapsis at this point. Been doing a slightly inefficient burn, but because we wanted to move both anyway, it's okay. So we're going to get to our apo again and finish pushing that out. It only needs to go about 150,000 meters more. 150 kilometers if you prefer. And in fact, I'm going to cancel this time warp. We're going to try and go right here where our orbit crosses theirs. We're going to try and normalize a bit. I always get this one wrong. But in theory, we want to push. That's north. Needs to be east, we need to push west. Which would be over here at the 270. We need that little funny purple triangle. I'm just kind of getting close, and then I'm going to warp closer because we're not right on that line. And the closer we are to the line, the more efficient the burn should be. So now what we're going to do is kind of clean up our orbit with theirs, or with the goal orbit. Sorry, I've been doing rescue missions. I keep thinking that like there's a person waiting there. All right. Hey, I got it right. I always get that wrong. I always say that wrong. This is going to move as I go, so I need to stick with it. Actually, I'm going to wait till I'm closer, because this far... Oops, see, wrong direction. This far out. Like, ideally, we want to be right on the line, and put out all of our energy, but we kind of can't pull that off. We'll go here. Okay. We don't have to perfectly match the other orbit, we just have to get kind of close enough. Get a little closer still. Excuse me. How's everybody doing? Everybody had a good day? It's freezing cold. yesterday, after dinner time, it just turned into like frigid winter all of a sudden. I think that's actually going to be good enough as far as that goes. So we will prepare to push our periapsis out the rest of the way, which is it's really close now. We have to bring our apoapsis down a little bit though, and that's okay. So we'll go here. I've kind of started to like doing these satellite missions. Just kind of fine-tuning and working on. So at the same time as we push... Well, we're not going to have much to do on the periapsis, so I'm not going to try and do anything else. The question is... It's a burn to the south, which should be that way. Nope, wrong again. Because that is retrograde. Like, I don't really want to turn my engine on here to move, because we only need to move it just a tiny bit. It would probably be acceptable now, but I want to get it as close as I can. I don't like that the music stopped. It's more music. Just a little bit. Kill it. Alright. Now, if we come again to where our paths cross, I think we're going down, aren't we? Can't see on that side as well. Let me real quick. If we go to where our paths cross, right around here. Then we can, like, rotate. Or, like, shift our orbit. Which, oops, I gotta bring the nav ball up. Which, in this position, should be this blue circle right here on the top of the nav ball, and I'm going the wrong way. Naturally. I will turn the engine on to move this one, because I'm not changing much. And we're actually bringing our apoapsis down just a little. Line that up. So you'll see the periapsis coming down towards us, the apoapsis kind of rotating our orbit here. Doesn't happen too fast, so we can go full throttle. Just line up. And actually, that's good enough. We maintain this for 10 seconds, and the contract will complete. Come in here, and just because, we're going to extend all of our mechanics. Oh, that one's already extended. There's solar going. Okay, and I like to... we got one more antenna. This thing is covered in science too, by the way. Extend that one. And I like to point the antenna, the satellite that is, right at the sun so it gets a lot of power all the time. And I'm sure at some point these in real life you'd have to come back and like trim up. Let me see real quick. We're in the orbit, right? Yeah. It's not completed yet, which is a little troubling. I'm going to leave this thing here real quick, go to the Space Center, check the contract to make sure I wasn't supposed to put some kind of special device on there. Sometimes they require certain experiments, but I thought I had them all on. Satellite, adjusted orbit. Be in command of satellite. Ensure that the probe has an antenna and can generate power. Reach the designated orbit. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. Accidentally disabled. Remember how I did that again. There it is. Now which one was it? Maybe the one that hasn't been in space for 70 something or 20 something days. And also has this attached to it. I was going to ditch the fuel, the extra fuel, but until we get the mission complete, we don't want to go dumping everything. I need to turn this way, I think. I think actually I have RCS on this, yeah. For much faster maneuvers. Actually, it has been my habit to use this up. Try to reface it. It's been my habit to use this up, trying to position for maneuvers, but I've gotten better at not doing that. In fact, I got my satellite positioned last time without even using any of the RCS fuel. So I forgot I had it and didn't turn it on, just like this time. Okay, it's in position. I'm going to turn off RCS. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a satellite? I'm not sure why it hasn't completed the mission for us yet. I would see a pop-up right here, by the way. This would turn into number 1. And if I highlighted it, would show a notification. There's something particular about the orbit that we didn't complete. A lot of times it specifies you need to build a new satellite. This one didn't say that, did it? Maybe it wanted me to use an existing one. Position satellite in an adjusted orbit. We have new plans for satellite on Kerbin. Move it. Oh, it was to move a satellite that was already there. Well, that's dumb. Does it tell me which one it is? I did it again. I didn't see one that's specially marked. Guess it's this one. I put this one on. Or is that the new orbit it's supposed to get to? Is the blue line? I'm confused. Just put that satellite up for no reason. The yellow line's still there, unless I am using this satellite. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and detach the fuel. Because we might as well just have a polar satellite. Even if we positioned it for no reason. Alright, so what do we think? Are we going to fly to Minmus, or are we going to put up the space station? The space station can be visited later by other Kerbals. I was thinking about putting another pod, just attaching another pod to it to leave there as like a rescue pod. So that if somebody was floating close enough by, they could get in there and fly home. But, I don't know. I can't decide. I'm crippled with indecision, so I wanted Twitch to decide. The Minmus mission would result in a ton of science. I know that. The orbital station actually probably wouldn't take too long. We could do both. This one would result in a ton of money. We're doing okay on money, actually. Over $1 million. Which reminds me, I should upgrade something. In fact, I think I'll upgrade this. Which will give our tracking station better capabilities. Can't think of anything else I'd like to upgrade. I think I already upgraded mission control fully because I wanted to be able to accept a ton of contracts. Maybe the science building. The science building, oh, it's very expensive. When it's fully upgraded, it looks very cool. Buildings all over the place. I guess we'll put the space station up. Since chat's not very chatty. So, load civil station. We'll check to make sure it's piloted only by... Nope, it didn't set. not even sitting in the driver's seat, ironically, but she'll have control. And I want to, real quick, up my gear so that I can quickly open everything. Okay, I set up this one. Just gonna extend an antenna. I'll extend 4 antennas. And solar panels and other solar panels. So that's good. It'll just kit it out as soon as we get to space. Before I forget, I'm actually gonna set the seats again. I'm gonna set that up with the satellite so I don't forget. Because I'd like to be able to do that next time I put a satellite up. Extend. These. Extend. That's it. Now when I use that gear menu, it will perform the actions. Where's my cursor? This way. Okay. Launch. I think we're going to go for kind of a high orbit here, assuming we have the fuel. We'll get orbital and then decide. It's funny looking. I'm going to position my cursor here so that I can enable prograde as soon as we get in the air. I think we go for launch. Right flames. These are the biggest engines I think I've used in this game so far. Drifting a little bit. Right, it's actually driving to the left. It's actually to the it is swinging. Definitely use better stability. Make it be slightly inefficient. Good. We want to make it to that 45-degree circle. Which now, but we're going to hold there as we get there. Stage. Handles a lot better now. It's kind of ironic. Because I don't think there's really fins on this stage, but we are in the upper atmosphere now, so. Let's go just hold stability and this right here. I forgot that she would be pulling this back towards prograde at the same time. Alright, how's our process? Almost in space. I'm going to push it out to like 90. We're going to slow down a bit, even as we're escaping the atmosphere. We're in a pretty efficient position right now. We're straight at a 45 degree angle. We're stretching out width and height. There's 90. Looking good. We're not in space yet, but we're getting there. So it is coming down a little bit. Not too much, not too fast. We're good. We're going to be alright. I don't think I put lights on this. That would have been a good idea. We got up here before our debris even hit the ground. Not a bad ascent. That's space. I'm going to extend our gear. And I ruined it by pulling the menu up. But yeah, everything should have just extended. We have solar panels and antenna. Solar panels are looking for the sun, which appears to be that way. Alright, we are going to prepare our circularization burn. We need prograde. Oh, it's so nice to have a pilot instead of just the probe. The probe can't hold prograde, retrograde, all that stuff. It can just SAS, which will try and hold still. 39 seconds away. Wait till we're, I don't know, 15 or so. Not for any real specific reason, just because I kind of want to be closer. We're going to push our apoapsis up a little bit at first, but mostly we're just going to push it. Looks like 15 was kind of a good call. Could have waited, or could have gone a little earlier. We're actually going to pull this out to the blue a little more to just stretch out that top. I don't want to necessarily cross it quite yet. Keep it at 3 seconds for as long as we can. 3 seconds. This is one way to slow down time. The other way is to start doing planks. This one's expensive as far as rocket fuel goes. The other one's just... going well. We are still looking pretty good on fuel. Not crazy though. I've stretched out the Apo. So the Apo's moving away from us even faster now, which means we're about to see. There it is. We're cut. 119, 91. We're gonna go over here and push this out. Actually, I'm gonna burn a little more. There we go. I wanted 120. 120 was kind of my goal I had in mind. So we will come over here and push the other side out to 120. And we'll see if we can get Valentina back home with an empty space station just floating in space. And I think, actually, just getting up here, we completed the contract. A lot of money. As far as a single contract goes. She's looking for prograde. There we go. As soon as she gets there, we'll start to burn. And it's not going to take much, so I'm going to only increase it slowly. Wait till we get closer again. This is a really good launch. We don't have a ton of fuel left, but it's enough. In fact, now that we're up here, there's probably a lot of fuel. Goes a little further when you're in space. Just a touch more. There it is. Alright, let's see. Now, I could leave this up here with the fuel, but I really feel like ditching it. Just to make it so it's like just the space station. So... fuel. And because I'm kind of used to it at this point, we're going to just go to Stability Assist. We're going to point at the sun. Even though this station has a lot of redundancies as far as solar power goes, which direction do I need to turn this? We have these 1x6s and 2x3s back there. Should be good on solar power pretty much forever. Now, before we leave, can I... Oh, you can level up the crew in this mobile processing lab. That's pretty cool. We could start research. I think we need a scientist to do that sort of stuff. We're not really going to be able to reach any of the science. Not that there's going to be any useful science out here anyway. We've kind of been out at this point all the time. Now, if I stage, we're going to disconnect our pod, which should leave us in control of just the pod. There is a chance, though, that we'll stick with this building, in which case we'll have to switch over. Okay, we are just the pod. Just to check. I can't see the other orbit anymore. That's okay. Okay, now we just have to go. I think we need to go prograde. No, retrograde. It actually recognizes that the rocket is on the. Oh yeah, it was. I was correct. Prograde. The rocket's on the top, so we're kind of working on backwards controls here. And we're just going to. Oh, I need a stage to activate the new engine. doesn't recognize the fuel. So, we're in a bit of a pickle. We're stuck in orbit. I didn't connect the fuel line from that little side tank, so we can actually jettison that. It goes, wow, there it goes quickly. We missed the space station. That didn't give us enough oomph to get home. So we are stuck in orbit. Let's get out and push. Retrograde, so I can push on the flat side because we're trying to slow down. And actually, I did this on a mission to the moon. We got stuck, and I had to get out and push. So we're gonna let go. Push. Yes. I'm gonna zoom in just so I can see better. Tina, being a professional pilot. Just gonna get out and slow down the ship. So now we're just pushing our face against the... Whoop, we're rotating quite a bit. How does our orbit look? Still need quite a bit of slowing down. Kind of waiting for a good angle to push us behind it. Pushing it here. Alternative option is to bring someone up here to save her. Okay, we're starting to spin it. I think I'm going to get back in and stabilize real quick. Except the hatch just passed us. There it is again. Oh. Can't get the hatch. It'd be really ironic if our camera controls here. There we go. Decoupler had blocked it. Alright, we're gonna turn on SES, face retrograde, and try it again. We just need to slow it down enough to get into orbit. Gonna let go. There we go. Couldn't see my cursor, so I didn't think it was keeping us from doing our stuff. The emergency protocol might be to just, we are rotating a lot, go into the space station. Oh, she's like facing any direction I push. That's actually, it's weird to me. Hang on. Which direction? There we go. We're looking this way now. It's weird to me, like, the way the game, we are quite far from our pod now, aren't we? Where are we? Where's the pod? The way the game decides how they're gonna behave. Symbol station ship. I can't get close enough into there. Set as target. Right? Or did I get the station? No, it's just out there, kind of far. This whole time I've been talking, we've been moving away from the pod. Okay, now we're moving towards it. During rescue missions, I do a lot of this free flight stuff, so I'm kind of used to it. Because while closing in an orbit, you guys saw during the satellite thing, we had to approximate an orbit. When you're trying to rescue somebody, you have to almost match it. You have to get within 2 kilometers before you can take control of their vessel. And then usually I close the gap like this. Just fly over. Rescue mission would make a fun stream, I think. Anyway, I was going to say, the emergency move might be to just fly to the station, and then later somebody can just go pick her up. Whoops, wrong direction. We need to go this way. We just passed it. There we go. Alright, now. I wish I was facing the way I want to be facing. I don't know. There's probably a way to turn the Kerbal around. I cannot figure it out. Where's the hatch? That's the parachute, so the hatch is on the inside, so we need to come backwards. Grab, board, grab, do something. Ugh. Let's try that again. Retrograde. This time I'm going to make sure that I'm facing this way when I get out. In case that makes a difference. And this way when I let go. And this way when I turn on RCS. Maybe that does make sense. Let's come down a little and we're just going to push. Pushing. Our orbit's not changing very much, which is just not encouraging. I'm not sure this is going to work this time. Alright, so, plan B. How's our fuel? Fine. Plan B. Go to the space station. Set that as our target. Start pushing towards it. So if I keep pointed at that pink target, then I just need to line up our prograde marker with it, and then we're heading straight towards it. And we're heading towards it at 7.8 meters per second. Speed that up to about 10 until we get closer. Actually, we can get it up to about 20. We're pretty far away. 3 kilometers. Then we'll just have to build a ship that can come up and dock to take her home. Just coming in pretty fast. We'll start to slow down. And she actually I don't know if you guys noticed, she followed the camera that time. When I redirected the camera this way, she looked this way. Which is the way I like to work. I like to the curve will face the direction I'm actually looking at moving. 10 kilometers, we're going to get there in 50 seconds. At this speed. So this will speed up just a bit. A lot of debris flying around. What is that out there? Debris from the starship. Oh, you know what? That's probably that fuel pack that we jettisoned. So I think if I had just connected the fuel line to just the ship even, it would have worked. Okay, we're going to slow down quite a bit. There should be, now I wish I had lights on it. There should be plenty of hatches to go into. Coming at 3.8 meters per second. Okay. Now we just need to find a door. Oh! Bumped into it. Apparently it's more than 2 meters wide. There's a hatch right above us. And we're safe. Safe. We're still in space. So there's the pod we came from. Alright. So, yeah. That's that. We're going to turn off SAS because that'll use battery slowly. And we don't really care if this kind of starts to tumble in its orbit as long as it doesn't get to the point where it's, you know, really falling. But that's the mission. Go back to the Space Center. I don't think I'm going to build a ship to save her right now. I think we'll start the Minmus launch, which was the other portion of the stream I wanted to do. But like I said, I didn't think this took too long. I want to check command. So if there's anything else that mentions Minmus, we want to take it. There isn't. There's Just a bunch of satellites. And actually, I don't care about satellites.
Oh,
See if we can get more Minmus missions. Put a flag on the moon. We've already done that a few times. Test the skipper. Landed? What counts as landed? Landed. Like, if I take that to the runway, or even the launch pad, just like count. It's basically just free money. It's testing parts. See, decoupler at the launch site, free money. Not a lot. A little bit of science though. Tourist. Oh, I haven't tried a tourist mission yet. Sounds kind of scary. I'm not seeing anything else about Minmus, so we'll just go. Today's your lucky day. Simply head to Minmus and pass by it. Easy as pie. We're going to go ahead and try and land on it, because that's what I designed the ship for. We don't need to specifically choose anybody. Jeb will be just fine. I don't think there's any other pilots we'd rather bring. So we'll launch. The only thing I'm concerned about is that it's going to take a lot of fuel just to get there. Once we get there, we shouldn't have to worry about fuel. Minmus is a tiny little moon. In fact, if you're not careful, you can jump off it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oops. I need to check my staging. We're going to revert to launch. That didn't happen. It was just a simulation. I think at some point my staging got messed up. Say we detach and then light the engines. We want to go ahead and light the engines when we detach, which actually makes me think I should check the rest of my staging. That's right. Then that. Then that. Which will light those engines at the same time. Yeah. Alright. Good thing we ran a simulation. Turn on SAS, please. That's more like it. Could have had a restroom without one washroom. I'm going to start leaning into my head for a second. Just go down fast. Just going to push out to the 45-degree line. Staying inside the yellow circle. This vehicle is very stable. This is almost the same one that I actually used for moon landings. Usually they do end up sideways like that. But I've gotten a little bit better at safe. Just a little bit less. Push this out to above 70. I'm going to go for 75. Excuse me. I don't think I set this one's gear setup up, so on the way over to this one. Set it up so that we can push a single button below. Push this back over. The circle I was talking about earlier is this wide circle right here. Is at 45 degrees. Ooh, I pushed the Apple Apps out too far because I started talking. But if you imagine this is 0, 10, 20, I guess it's 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 45, 40, 30, you know, and then 90 degrees is the horizon ball. There we go. I've gotten so used to using just the controller, I haven't actually used the mouse in a while. So I don't remember how to like make the mouse cursor go away. Although I think it doesn't matter as long as you don't have something selected. It's too bad we're on the night side. It's always nicer to launch during the day. I guess I could have waited, but we're pretty low on fuel for this stage, but we use up what we got, because at this point, every drop matters. And we are... yeah, we're in space. Okay, we're complete. We're going to point to... we're going to go ahead and lock to prograde now, which Jeb can do. I'm so used to using probes after positioning all those satellites, I started to do it manually. But Jeb's a good pilot. I'm actually going to start the burn because we're a little closer to our program, or our apoapsis than because we have 3 engines burning until still going pretty quick, actually. Which is good. We're going to need a lot of fuel for the next one. For the missile interceptor. You can still see the second pod here. Okay. We'll cut here. Now, we're going to do the same trick you do to get to the moon, where you position... oops. Minmus or the moon at 12 o'clock. It's a little tricky, since they're both in line. Hopefully we don't end up with an accidental moon intercept trying to get to Minmus. Auto-saving is reminding me that saving would be a great idea. But there's Minmus. So we want to initiate our burn right when Minmus is coming over the horizon. Unlike the moon, we can't see it from here. Oh, that's the moon. I think I can set it as the target, though. Question is, then does it allow me to see it? So from this view, I can't actually see Minmus. Unless you can see it very far in the distance, but I don't think you can. I'm going to ask Jeb to go to prograde again. In theory, we could burn when we see the moon, too. By the way, don't be immature about the shape of the ship, anybody. It's ship shape. To click off here because the green square there meant our focus was still on the prograde marker. Like, I guess in theory we burn now because it appears isn't there? I just don't think you can see it from as far away as you. That's the moon. Minmus also has a little bit of a wonky orbit, so we'll have to try and reach it halfway there. We're just going to burn and push. Which our apoapsis climb to get to 46.4 million. I think that's going to be entering the stage. Suck it down. Maybe not, 'cause it's going to start moving. Or we might see it. It's good that we see it this earlier. We actually are gonna get slowed down a bit by the 146, so just a little. And there we go. That's a Minmus encounter. it won't... Oh, man. The moon's really screwing us up here. Because it won't calculate a second encounter on our trip. We're gonna go right past. So since we're past the moon, we can see what Minmus is gonna do to our path. In fact, we'll take a sneak peek. I just want to make sure we're not gonna hit it. Is the thing. Okay, we won't hit it because we're gonna come in under it. But that'll do. I'm gonna warp to our moon intercept. Wave high as we go by. And I don't think we have to, since we have the intercept, I don't think we're gonna mess with our inclination. That's the word I couldn't think of earlier. Our inclination, mostly because of the moon intercept is gonna really jack with our stuff. Okay, now I'm just gonna warp till we're out of the moon's sphere of influence, and we're going to be able to see what exactly our trajectory looks like at Minmus. Almost. I mean, this is a huge accomplishment. Okay, so it isn't actually... It's almost not even an intercept. Which makes me feel like we should probably burn a little further. We're not warping, but we're not turning either. Did we run out of battery? We ran out of battery. Now... Some of the engines generate energy as you burn. Is that true for us? Yes, it is. Whoa. I wasn't paying attention to what it was doing to our course, though. But before I forget, we're going to go over here and extend... Oh, we have solar panels. How do we lose... How do we totally get dead batteries with solar panel? I guess we were just behind Kerbal the whole time? I don't know. Okay, what do we got here? We have an intercept on our next orbit. Are we okay with that? I don't think so. I'm gonna burn normal here. I'm just gonna bring our orbit up. We're gonna adjust our inclination. Just a touch. We're actually still on the last fuel tank and engine too, which I'm a little impressed about. Okay. Oh, he's trying to hold prograde. Hang on, don't do that. I was like, why is it fighting me? In a higher level pilot, you'll actually have options for all these too. Okay. Bringing it the right way, right? Screwed us here. So we have no intercept at all. We're probably going too fast because I was burning prograde when I discovered that we were jacking up our orbit. So what if I try and slow down? This is actually really not a good time to be adjusting like our speed, the speed of our orbit. Okay, let's, real quick, set Minmus as our focus. Okay, we're coming in way out there. If I just touch it, are we getting closer or further? Closer, which is good. Minmus is so tiny, it has, like, almost no gravity. We're gonna warp, yeah, we'll warp to here. So, getting, like, actually getting around it is just gonna be hard. Ideally, it won't take us too much fuel. We're actually intercepting it on the way back, which is interesting. Oh, okay. It's at our total apoapsis. Hang on. Yeah. So there it is. It's actually not. It's not considering us intercepting it at this point. But if we burn, we're just gonna use our fuel or like expend this engine. Retrograde, right? Yeah. Is it? Kerbin periapsis. praising it. What's happening here? This is Minmus. Is this our... Okay, this is our Minmus periapsis. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. We're 39 minutes from it still, so we'll go up here. Because it doesn't seem like it's burning the right direction. Passing that way. It is, it should be. I guess we're just getting slingshotted so bad. Just need to burn more. Okay, there we go. Now, Minmus. How close is our parry? 15 is fine. 15's a little nervous around the moon because it has mountains that are like 10,000 or 10 kilometers high, rather. But Minmus is actually super flat, which is nice. It makes it easier to land on than the moon. Not to mention the lower gravity. Just come over here. We're gonna make it a pretty tight orbit, and then we're gonna try and snag some extra science while orbiting. And if we're lucky, after we land, we could do a little skip jump and get to a different biome, because that's what determines what the science is worth. And actually, now that I think about it, we should have brought a scientist instead of a pilot. But a pilot was nice, because a scientist could reset our bigger experiments. Okay, just the littlest burn. Just closing it into about 15 like we are now. And now, how much fuel we have left in here? Oh, a lot. We're going to dump most of that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and dump it. We definitely don't need the extra fuel coming from Minmus. I'm just going to get away from this. And I'm nervous that I'm going to forget. Real quick. Just find space. And I actually have landing lights, which I'm going to turn on now. Well, yeah, I'm going to turn them on now so I don't forget. We've completed the mission for Minmus Flyby. And we have completed our Explore Minmus. And we have done the first flyby of Minmus, entered the orbit of Minmus, we've escaped the gravitational influence of Minmus. That's interesting. We probably did that on accident. We should have got that achievement on the way home. Alright. Let's EVA. This has been doing weird things to my ships lately. Where it like rotated 90 degrees. Looks like we're okay this time. We're going to grab an EVA report. Oh, I always get the crew hatch when I'm trying to get... There we go. Don't hit the wrong button. Do we have... I don't think we can send it. And actually, yeah, so we'll just get in, because he can't run experiments from outside. He's not a scientist. We'll do non-repeatable... I mean, we'll do repeatable experiments now, like temperature and barometric pressure. And we will get a crew report. I need to make sure it doesn't say crew hatch when I'm selecting that. There we go. And then real quick, we're going to jump outside to grab that crew report out of its storage, which is handy from the outside. Take data, which is the EVA and the crew report. We're going to look and see, although I think we're still over the same biome. We'll get another EVA report just in case, which it'll probably warn us is a repeat, and we'll delete it when we get back in, but that's okay. Board? Oh, it wasn't the same. That was a different EVA report. So we were Minmus Lowlands Minmus Midlands, did it say? Now when we're over that slightly different color green, we can get a different EVA. So I'm going to fast forward this just a bit. Let's see if we can get it right when we're over that. We are planning on landing, by the way, in that zone. So if we don't get it now, we could try and get it later. EVA. Zoom in. EVA report. Greater Flats. So that should be, I think, all of the EVA reports we need. No, we don't need to do any of that. We'll just get back in. Alright, now we should initiate landing. So we want to burn, retrograde, and I'm just going to turn on it, put it back on SAS, because we don't want him to follow it as it starts to go down. It's going to arrest our surface speed. That's why I didn't want to keep him on retrograde, because he would have just followed that as it went. And now, because the gravity here is so slight, we're going to lower the thrust of our engines. 5.9 seems like 9.3 seems okay. It's very important that we match this, though. So now, when I turn it on, it just barely comes on. Even if I was full throttle, it would only be 5.93, 6% of our total thrust before. Now we're just going to fall. Stop. Well, we're a little off, so I think I'm going to go this way. And, oops, he's holding retrograde. I didn't start this. Flats. See, this is full throttle and we're barely moving. That's okay for now. We don't want to accidentally fly far from the planet. Okay, and I'm going to turn directly to the other side from where we were just looking to be ready to stop. We're actually going to fast forward. It's going to take us a while to fall down. Very, very light gravity. It's like the dream planet for landing. And I'm happy that we're landing so close. Because that's so close to another biome, because we can just jump right over. We still have a little bit of that sideways momentum to kill. That retrograde marker up to the top of the ball. As soon as the X is on the dot, we can stop this little dance. There we go. I'm just going to slow us down a bit. This is full throttle and we're only changing by a little tiny bit. I want to change this to land mode. Oh, it's not that different. I guess the greater flats must be sea level and windless. But we are going 60 meters per second, and we're trying to slow it down a bit. I think I will. It's a little late now. I was gonna try and adjust our throttle limitation again, but if I do it now, I might run out of time. Although to be fair, how hard are we really gonna hit it? Well, I guess speed would be what matters, not necessarily the level of gravity. Too late to say deploy these shielded. Well, I guess they just kind of. I thought these feet would be pointing down, but that doesn't really matter. And we can see our shadow. Your shadow is a great indicator of how close to the ground you are, because as you get closer, the shadow gets closer. Our landing lights aren't going to be necessary, but I'm glad we have them. We can actually decrease our thrust here, because we're kind of at landing speed already. So we have this sweet spot here where we can arrest our surface speed as fast as we want to. to give it a boost right at the end to rest our speed completely. Not completely, but like bring us down to like 3 meters per second. We want to land real soft. But even going very slowly, I think we're going to bounce, which is kind of funny. 200 meters. Slow down. I'm seeing how quickly it adjusts our speed. Actually, it's not very quickly, so I'm glad I did that. You can see the ground we're lighting up with our lights. Our shadow disappeared for some reason. 5. There we go. 5 meters per second. About 8 seconds. Set this speed. 4 meters per second. 3. 2 meters per second. Barely coming in. Our lit area getting smaller and smaller. Our shadow getting closer and closer. And touchdown. Didn't quite bounce. A little bit. Alright, we're gonna turn off SAS. Close our nav ball. What a nice landing, facing the sun and everything. I always like to face the sun because seeing the front of your ship is nice. Alright, before we get out, I'd like to get a crew report. And I think I actually need to take the science out of here before I can do it again. Yeah. So we're not gonna do that. We're going to EVA. And I want first to grab that crew report. I'm going to take all the data. We're going to grab the data from this. We're going to grab the data from the thermometer. And then I need to get back in real quick so that I can run the goo container. Observe mystery goo. You observe the mystery goo. A lot of times there's fun flavor text there, but it doesn't look like it's very fun right now. We're also going to do the materials bay, which is going to be a ton of science, 125. Store that. We will run this again. Oops. I have trouble with this one too, like I was having trouble getting the EVA report. There we go. Pressure data. So much science right now, guys. It's ridiculous. We're going to be able to research pretty much whatever tech we want. Get the temperature. Okay, now we'll EVA and collect that science real quick, and then we can go down, plant a flag, collect a little more science. Jeb is not a, yeah, that's fine. Jeb is not a scientist, so he can't reset those. A scientist could reset the goo container and the materials bay, and we would get way more science. Not to mention, the scientists themselves get more science from experiments. Okay. We're just going to let go. Very graceful. Oh, landed on his feet. Still fell over. That's okay. Alright. The first Kerbal on Minmus. Now, just to demonstrate the low gravity, I'm going to jump. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You can actually, using the jetpack on the Kerbal, you can escape the gravitational pull of Minmus. It's a terrible idea. He didn't even fall over when he landed. That's great. Real quick, I would like you to EVA. Work first, right? Work first. EVA. And then this is where the real science is. Take a surface sample. 150 just from that. And a scientist would have got more. And now, without further ado, we will plant a flag. Yay! What do we call it? Naturally, Joe was here. And I don't think it named it because I hit B at the end there. But that's okay. Woohoo! So, whoops. I always have trouble with the camera on EVAs. See if we can get back in. I'm gonna, instead of jumping because we go so high, I'm gonna enable RCS. And actually disable it real quick. Just because I don't know if it's gonna act weird. I'm gonna turn it around. It's every single movement is so exaggerated. He looks like he's having a great time though. Now enable RCS and just boost up a little and grab and board. And now, even though it's a really bad idea and not very safe, we're gonna try and fly over to one of these hills for extra science. It's gonna be a lean to the left after just a little bit of thrust. Oh, I forgot my thrust is still highly limited. I was trying to be very careful there. Because this will be a different biome, and pretty much all the science we just did, we can do again. I don't know if it'll let us take another soil sample with Jeb here. Oops, my controls got locked. It took me a long time to figure out what was causing that. I'm glad I did eventually. A little higher since we're mounting a hill. And I'm going to try and go like a little ways up the hill because the biomes kind of merge into each other, and I don't know if it'll recognize this as being the other one right away. This is working very well. Very slight adjustments. And you'll notice, by the way, we haven't used up like hardly any fuel. So getting home should be a breeze. I love this little planet. Minmus looks like so much fun. Imagine a lower gravity than the moon. Like this planet would effectively just be a theme park. I'm gonna try to arrest our horizontal momentum. Might as well shoot for as high on the hill as it'll really go. We're not going to do another jump, even though there was a third biome we flew over. I'm not going to try and find it. I can't, because these ones are very easy to differentiate. I'm not concerned about jumping to one, kind of just for fun. But because the other one is, it looks pretty much just like this one, I'm not going to try and find it. That's our horizontal momentum. At this point, we can just have Jeb hold retro to tip us up. And it's a little bit risky to land on a hill, but because it's so low gravity, we're really not worried about it. 100 meters. Slow down. Okay. That was a great burn. All this has just gone really well. I'm so proud. So happy. I have a track record, even if it's not Twitch and it's just my kids, I have a track record of choking when people are watching. Oh. Oh. Like landing on a marshmallow. Okay. And, before we EVA, let's crew report. Yep. And, nope, not that. This log pressure data. Yep. And this. We can't goo and we can't materials bay because we couldn't reset those. But we can EVA again. And then before we get in, I need to take the data again. Just flop on his belly. That was kind of funny. Alright, so before, we're not really going to walk too far away. Just enough to where I can turn around without jumping towards, okay. And we will EVA report. Oh, we'll take a surface sample. I don't know if, yeah, it counts differently. And we will EVA report. These are the lowlands as opposed to the greater flats. Okay, we'll bring the nav ball back up. Turn on, oops, not SAS, RCS. Fly back up to the door. Ooh, a little too high. Grab it. Oh, grab it. We need to get all the science before we get back in. So I'm going to use the mouse fork because it's just easier to take the data. Take the data, and we need to take the data from the crew hatch, which is going to be a lot at this point. Yeah, and then we can just board. Alright, now we're just going to leave. We took all the data, we have all our crew reports. So we just need to leave. And I'm actually, because it's so easy to escape the gravity. Oh, let's put our thrusters. Full should be fine. We just need to get out of here. We don't need to worry about really launching off the planet, which we will do with them at full. So, I'm going to go ahead and full throttle just to see how quickly we escape. SAS. Just hold. It's not as fast as I imagined. Get up to about there. How far did that get us? 25,000 already. Goodbye, Minmus. Before we get too high, I'm just going to check for more science. Here we go. Can I crew report? Space near Minmus. Yeah, different. I think we were in space far above, or above Minmus earlier. We'll log pressure data and pressure data near Minmus. Because we did science at 15K, here we're just at like 5. So that'll be that, and we're not going to do any more tricky science things anymore. We're just going to fly home. We'll get up to about here. Excuse me. Let's go prograde. Oops. Summarize this orbit. The amount of change you get for so little fuel is amazing. It's a pretty wonky orbit, but that's fine. Now, if we... Oops, sorry, you don't want to be zoom out here. We'll start our approach burn from opposite over here? Yeah. Look at all the satellites over there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? It's too late now. While we were landed on Minmus, I was going to go back to the space station and see if there was... Because usually... Or when we get home, there will probably be a mission to land on Minmus now. We could have just accepted that mission and completed it basically as soon as we took it. Prograde, burn, let's go. High. Can I fix that now? If I burn this guy, what's that do to us? Is that actually a change, or is that just a side effect? Okay. Let's just see where we go. As long as we don't escape Kerbin, we should be fine. All in all, it's been success so far. Okay, we're now in orbit around Kerbin. Before I forget, let's... Oh, because we're time warping. Let's bring in the landing. Okay. Oh, we're in orbit around the sun. Not Kerbin. Going a little too fast. Can we fix that? Reapproaching Minmus. Not by much, though. We just don't want to hit it, that's all. In fact, I think we're below it enough. Yeah, there's no chance we're going to hit it. I want to see our periapsis. Still at 5 million. now we have a moon intercept again. The moon's just screwing with us. We're still looking at our Kerbin periapsis though. Oh my gosh, it keeps changing. If we can bring this down to, say, 50. Bring it down lower than 40 or 30. Then we're guaranteed to land. We're actually getting really low in fuel. There! I looked away for a second, but we're good. Let's go to prograde just to scooch it up a little bit. We'll be coming in pretty fast for 25. 40. Again, we might just skim off the atmosphere. He's not in prograde. Oh, retrograde now. We just need the littlest adjustment. Oh no! It's so hard to do small. Because sometimes one push up is 2 pushes down to stop, so... There. We'll call that good. We're not going to ditch the fuel just in case we need to make some tiny little adjustment. But we're going to turn pretty much everything else off. That's Minmus. Can we even see Kerbin from out here? I don't think we can. I'm just going to go to, say, 1,000. We're not going to go to 10,000 times because some weird thing... Okay, we're switching influence. So there's Minmus, and there's home, and the moon. We're going to go 1,000. If you go to 10,000, you can actually kind of fly by stuff. It starts to like render in chunks instead of constantly, and you can fling right around Kerbin. We can use our... So there, we're exiting the sphere of influence of Minmus. We can use our warp to here, though. Just to check our periapses. There's so much stuff getting highlighted. Our periapses is still 34. Warp to here. Turn off all this junk, goodness. We can't get just one thing. I just keep highlighting things. Hey, mission to Minmus achievement. Okay, right. Get rid of these. Periapsis is still 34. I'm gonna warp a little closer. That. Coming on home. Now that we're this close, it won't change hardly anything very much, but we're gonna rotate around here. And extra stage. Going home. We will ask Jeb to hold retrograde until we start getting into the atmosphere, in which case it'll automatically hold retrograde. There we go. We're technically hitting air. Arrange the camera's going to do some wonky stuff at some point, but I'll arrange it here. There it is. We can turn off SAS because now it'll keep us. That's getting a little toasty. It's an experienced pilot. 1-star. Might be 2-star. Spacewalk, orbital Minmus, suborbital space flight, landed, walked, planted flag. Look at all that money, science, reputation, Are we? Yeah, we're officially landing. You can actually skim the atmosphere. Bob, our scientist, has made 2 trips to the moon, upon which returned. Second trip, he skimmed the atmosphere quite a few times before actually landing. He would skim the atmosphere, go back out into space for about a week, come back and skim the atmosphere again. He brought plenty of snacks, so he was okay. The Kerbals don't actually have to eat or drink, and I'd say if they even need oxygen, actually. I mean, there are mods on the PC version for all that stuff. Pretty good. A lot trickier to handle. Makes space stations a lot trickier too. Barrel shoots, and from here we can actually fast forward. One more trick we're gonna employ is ditching the heat shield because we're done with it. Close this down just a little bit more. Landing in the water. It's perfect landing for returning from another planet. All chutes fully deployed. About 6 is as fast as we're going to be going. I can't wait to see how much science we have. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of science. This is why I'm speeding up a lot, because when you're landing, it just takes a while before you hit the ground. I can't imagine Jebediah's anticipation. And alright. Now recover the vessel. And he's home. Yay! Home safe, even. Man. The dream of a Kerbal. Total science for this mission alone. 1,263. Goodness gracious. 150 from the surface sample of the Greater Flats. Oh, man. Did we get a surface sample from the other one? Did I forget to do that part? No, there it is. 150 for the other soil sample, too. Man. We picked up fuel. Everything attached to the pod. That's it. We didn't have recovery chutes. And Jebediah leveled up. He's now level 2. Sweet. I think to get to level 3, he's going to have to visit even another planet. And our reputation is out of the orange. Now let's check. Oh, a new orbital station around Minmus. Interesting. They want us to explore the moon. Transfer any crew between vessels near the moon. That's crazy. See, planet flag on Minmus. We could have claimed that for free. Science data from Minmus and from the surface. All 3 of those we could have basically gotten for free. But for just a little bit extra science. A decent amount of money for this one, though. But I'm not worried about it. We have a pretty good amount of money. We have tons of science. It's kind of ridiculous how much science we have right now. Is there anything I want to unlock specifically? Unmanned tech is pretty cool. Oh, I want... Here we go. Heavy landing and field science. These are really handy for like rovers. Wow, this costs 550 just for itself. Advanced motors. Scanning tech. What does that get us? Infrared telescope. Surface scanning module. I think once we have this tech, we'll get a lot of missions to scan the moon, scan certain biomes of the moon. Atmospheric fluid. Electronics. What does this give us? Oh, a different antenna. Fast data transfer. Magnetometer. Oh, so it can measure the magnetic fields. So that's another science we could get from different places. Seismic accelerometer. So we can check the seismic activities of other bodies. And another relay antenna. Oops. High power electronics. Extra large solar array. Big fuel cell. Thermal control system. Oh, it's a giant radiator panel. That's cool. I kind of like that for the giant solar panels. Might want to pick up stuff like this, though. These cheaper things. Ah, this I actually really like. The monopropellant tank. Cool little engine. Probably pick up aerodynamics. I think I'm going to build a plane and play around with that a little bit because it looks like fun. Supersonic flight. That sounds neat. Advanced aerodynamics. This is 160, so we can only afford one more science. Heavy rocketry, precision propulsion, advanced fuel systems. What's this? Actuators. Grabbing unit. So it's an arm. Interesting. Okay. No, I think it's between these three. Heavy rocketry, which will give us the mainsail. This is actually one of the most powerful engines in the game. Twin bore liquid fuel engine. And a thoroughbred solid fuel booster. What's this? You see a marker for nuclear atomic rocket motor. Interesting. Advanced fuel systems, an adapter, a slanted adapter, RCS fuel tank. Oh, that's cool. So could they refuel their RCS, or is that just like for a big satellite or a space station? More RCS fuel. Ah, the Rockomax. So this is what you want with the mainsail engine over there. And then precision, just, I think, smaller engines. I think this is small stuff for, like, very fine-tuning of, like, satellite. I think we're going to go with the engine, the big engine. And then the next one we'll want is the advanced fuel systems. But that'll be it for this stream. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.